Stage 2 of the Santos Tour Down Under, 150.5 kilometres, leaving Unley and bound for Stirling. Jack Bobridge winning the first stage, holding the ochre jersey. The challenge may come from the man on the left, Richie Porte, or will it be this man, Cadel Evans?
Whatever happens, these riders know they're in for a very stiff race today. 2 circuits around Harndorf, the little German enclave, and then 2 circuits around Stirling down towards the end. And yes, the Crocodile is there to support Cadel Evans.
Big day for Jack Bobridge, though. Comes from South Australia as they roll out towards the start proper here. With only one climb on the race officially, the Subaru King of the Mountains being contested after 30 kilometres, this really was a go-all-the-way day.
Yes, I think the order of the day had been to get out on the attack and try and form an early morning breakaway, but it took a long time for the breakaway to form. And Orica Greenedge, the Australian squad, were looking for every move possible.
They'd had a man in the breakaway on day 1 in Luke Durbridge. They were now looking to put another man in the breakaway, and it was hurting the main field. The big peloton was splitting up all of the time. The first challenge of the day would be the climb of Basket Range at 30 kilometres. The move coming initially from Cam Meyer in the white, joined by Thomas de Gent of the Lotto team from Belgium, and scurrying across the gap was Campbell Flakemore of Team BMC.
Yes, just 22 years of age. He went up there for Team BMC to protect the interests of Cadel Evans a little bit later on in the event. Jack Bobridge in his ochre's leader's jersey, feeling quite happy with the composition of the 3-man breakaway. So it was a little bit of a truce for a while, which saw the breakaway's advantage pop up to 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
And it was left to the black jerseys of Team Sky to try and limit this escape, because number 11 down there was a very serious contender. Cam Meyer won this tour back in 2011. On the climb of the day, though, it was Thomas de Gent who got the 10 points to become the next leader in the Subaru King of the Mountains competition. The peloton coming over the top, they were some 3 minutes behind.
Yes, there was no real organisation. They just had the 3-man leading group pegged for quite some time. But out on the course, the intermediate time sprints were extremely important, and showing everybody a clean pair of wheels. Once again, it was the Belgian rider in the red jersey, Thomas de Gent.
He really was on fire. 3-second time bonus for the Belgian rider there at the II-Net sprint point. And while they were being well entertained out on the course, the main field behind were getting quite concerned by the strength of the breakaway. Cam Meyer was flying the flag for Orica Greenedge. The man in the middle was trying to slow down the breakaway in favour of Cadel Evans. Flakemore's on his team.
Yes, well, once they got through the hydration station, the feeding point, halfway through the course, things then started to get a little bit more serious. And that's because of the pressure of Cam Meyer in that leading group. But at the next sprint point of the day, again, it was that Belgian popping out, Thomas de Gent. 3 more bonus seconds in the bag.
And only 50 kilometres left to ride to the finish. They were now very worried, and there was a lot of riders trying to bring it back. Ostensibly, it was always Sky, and on the circuits of Stirling, the first man to crack in the breakaway was Thomas de Gent. And Cam Meyer willing to push on here. They were just over a lap and a bit from the finishing line.
Yes, but once it all came back together, it was a question of whether or not the sprinters could handle this very difficult climb, and a huge crowd had turned out to see the finish. On the finishing circuit, though, they were holding no bars, and there was another move going clear. Danilo Wies, a teammate of Cadel Evans, was quite happy to get himself into the breakaway.
And joining in that breakaway, Calvin Watson as well. The Australians always trying to stay in front of the television cameras. A little bit of bumping around, but keeping himself in position there, Jack Bobridge, as he was now at the sharp end of the race. He knew at this point all he had to do was to contain the peloton, and he would keep his lead. And when it came down to the lead out for the finish, this big group of riders looked to be setting it up for the Australian Nathan Haas in second place here. But it's a long way up the road, and Cadel Evans, number 1, top right of our picture, now on the left, was trying to win bonus seconds at the finishing line. Only the first 3 got bonus seconds. Nathan Haas forced to lead a little bit too early. Daryl Impey on his back wheel for Orica Greenedge. He played the shot, and he thought he was going to win this, but it was an awful long way to the finishing line. And on the right of our picture, an incredible finish by Juan Jose Laparto gave the Spanish cyclist his first ever stage win in the Santos Tour Down Under. Daryl Impey had to be content with second place. So a tremendous 1-3 for Movistar.
En la primera course in Adelaide, un segundo plaats. Oggi la primera plaza en un arrivo difícil.
Sí, es una victoria en un terreno diferente para mí, pero me encuentro muy bien de forma y gracias a Dios ha podido llegar la victoria para el equipo.
Very difficult finish for me, but I managed to come through towards the end, but it's a good victory for the team. Everybody talks about Jack Bobridge and the World Hour record attempt, but what's more important at the Moreton, the World Hour record or trying to win this bike race?
Yeah, well, like I said, I come here to look after the young guys this week for GC, so this is throwing a spanner in the works, but now I'm in the jersey, I've got to defend it as much as possible, 100%, and we'll worry about the hour record next week, but for now, concentrate on keeping this jersey.
Yes, well, the victory going to Lobato, and Movistar always ride well in the Santos Tour Down Under, and today was no exception. First stage win for this young man, and he's put his team back on top. They also lead the team race in the competition overall. For Jack Bobridge, though, he's kept his lead for a second day. He lost 1 second of his overall lead. He's now 3 seconds in front, and the climbs start tomorrow.
Congratulations to Jack Bobridge. Tomorrow he wears the